There you go. What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's do Pimpy's quick shots, would you? There's something that popped up in the news, and you'll understand why it was that they were desperate to get John Fetterman, get him into office. It's not Fetterman they were after. It was his staff, and they have an agenda. Right now, what you're going to see is the Democrats desperately moving through Congress over the next 2 years to try as hard as hell to find ways to make sure that they are guaranteed to win elections, or at least push as much of their agenda across the border as possible. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Supreme Court Justice Amy Barrett. Yeah, they're getting ready to target her. And then after her, who do you think they're going after? Kavanaugh, all over again. They spoke about this. They're trying to find ways to remove Amy and Kavanaugh. If they can't remove them, then they are actually, once again, talking about stacking the Supreme Court. Once the Republicans won control of the House, the Senate was desperate. That's why this election over there in Georgia is so important. If Herschel Walker loses, this gives the Democrats the chance to just rubber stamp everything that comes through. Everything. Without needing the vice president to be there. That's not what we want. That's why it's really important that we get over there and monitor the election of Herschel Walker. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so. Because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code PIMPYSILVER. Yes, it has changed. PIMPYSILVER. So if you're watching this video and it's an older video, make sure you check on current videos because the code is going to be changing from time to time from now on. Also, I can be found on other platforms. Everybody knows I have my own website, Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I post videos that I can't get away with over on YouTube. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come on over here and join us. It's free to do so. You can also come follow me on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and Odyssey. The links for all these platforms will be down below in the description. So for whatever reason, if I get removed off of one platform, you could find me on the others. So here we go. This is what happens when they say the inside part out loud. John Fetterman's top aide called for Dems to brand Amy Coney Barrett's SCOTUS nomination illegitimate. Nomination? She's already on the Supreme Court. It's not that this article is old. Look, December 4th, 2022. It says Senator-elect John Fetterman. He's a representative that really can't put a full sentence together. And now we're finding out that Twitter had a lot to do with that. Incoming Chief of Staff vehemently pushed for Democrats to brand Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett nomination as illegitimate in order to pave the way for eventually eliminating the filibuster and packing more seats on the court. What do you mean her nomination? When I saw this article, I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Her nomination. She has already won. Adam Gentleson, who previously worked in top roles for former Senator Majority Leader Harry Reid. And the funny thing is, I don't remember this guy. I might, if I seen him again, maybe, I don't know. Anybody that's worked for Senator Harry Reid, that's working for the devil. Trust me, I know. I worked for him. This was the senator that was over there in Nevada. And for multiple liberal organizations, penned an op-ed for the New York Times in September of 2020. Days after Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death, arguing that while Democrats did not have the power to block the nomination by then President Donald Trump, they could take certain measures to delay and delegitimize it. These are steps Democrats can take to apply maximum pressure, brand the process as the illegitimate farce it is, and lay the groundwork for desperately needed reform that can reverse the damage early in 2021 if Democrats won in November, he wrote. That's something he wrote a while ago. But do you see the tactics of the Democrats when they lose control of any one of the three branches of government? Then they all of a sudden cry that they want to work together. But whenever they control these things, you can see what's going through their mind. They really are going to shove their agenda through. That's why I keep saying that the Republicans, They're such weak people. Once Trump got in there, he made them much stronger. But we still have those rhino Republicans like Mitch McConnell, and I hate to say it, but McCarthy as well. Whenever the Dems start talking about they need to do all they can to help McCarthy become the Speaker of the House, that should tell you what we need to know about McCarthy, all right? I'm just throwing that out there. Those steps, Jentelson argued, included boycotting the confirmation hearing and systematically denying unanimous consent agreements, which would bring the business in the Senate to a halt. So in other words, we can't get the people's business done because of petty little crap the Democrats want done. Now you understand why it is when Trump said you need to terminate the Constitution, he wasn't talking about circumventing the Constitution. He was talking about we are at a point right now in history where we need to declare our independence from the government. That's called the right of revolution. It's when we, the people, decide that our government is no longer there to serve the people that they represent, but are there for their own personal gains. So we are beyond that. And I agree with Trump. Together, these tactics will hang an asterisk around Donald Trump's nominee, he wrote back then. Jentelson said the process should motivate Democrats to commit to eliminating the filibuster if they regain power in the Senate, which they did several months later. So I think it's really funny when the Dems are controlled, they're talking about stacking the Supreme Court, eliminating the filibuster. But when the Republicans get there, they're like, wait, don't do that. There's this long 5-day argument. Democrats going to the media crying about how the filibuster is so important and how we need it. Then they regain control of the Senate and they're on there talking about how it's Jim Crow 2.0. Do you see the hypocrisy here? This is why when I say when it comes to Democrats vote them out of office, we're finding out that a lot of them truly are illegitimate thanks to Twitter. It says, without the filibuster, reform can be passed by a simple majority votes as the framers intended. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see if you feel that way later on. Democrats should commit to reforming the Supreme Court. They can add seats to the court, apply age and term limits. I do agree with that. I do. This way, then, no one political party can grab control of the Supreme Court or pass any of a range of credible proposals, he wrote. Democrats should also reform the Senate so it better represents the nation. Listen to what this guy's talking about. Now, this is a guy now that is an aide for Fetterman. Remember, Fetterman is the guy's like, cannot formulate a sentence at all. He's not even the one in control of the Senate seat. He's going to be there by face only. Between Fetterman's wife and this aide, they're going to be calling all the shots. And they're going to take the orders from probably somebody like Obama. They can start by inviting territories bound by federal law but lacking voting representation in Congress to become states. The District of Columbia has roughly a similar or greater population as Wyoming or North Dakota, while Puerto Rico has more people than 20 states. Both deserve to be states if they so choose. Of course, the Democrats want that because those particular territories are overwhelmingly Democrat. Jentelson, I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong, but just in case, has repeatedly called for Democrats to expand the Supreme Court to ensure liberal rulings. So we're obviously at that point now where we have to find a way to amend the Constitution and make sure that the amount of justices that sit on the Supreme Court are limited. Or once the Democrats are in control, they'll add seats. And then when the Republicans are in control, they'll add more seats. And each is going to do what it can to make sure that the Supreme Court passes their agenda. There's no downplaying the suffering Coney Barrett can cause from the bench. But to get her there, McConnell laid bare that this is all about power and Dems are poised to gain a lot of power. A week from now, we have to vote. Jentelson tweeted, and this is back in October 26th of 2020, then Dems have to use the power we gave them to expand the courts. Now, obviously, they haven't done that yet. This article is reflecting back on the aide of Fetterman that's there now about the stuff he used to speak about before Amy Barrett was approved to be the Supreme Court Justice. It says, if you are not willing to reform the filibuster and expand the court, you are not willing to do what it takes to win this fight. Do you see what he's saying? He believes we're in a fight. So when you hear Republicans say that, then the whole media and everybody goes crazy. But when Dems say it, they say, well, we are in a fight. Look, we're fighting. No, the truth is this is a quiet civil war, and it is happening now. I agree with him. We are in a fight. He added that in a September 1, 2021 tweet. If we keep playing beanbag while they play a hardball, the results will be more of this. It's that simple. Fetterman he didn't hire him, his wife or his so-called handler did. They hired Jentelson. has been advising the incoming senator during his transition. To be his chief of staff, Politico reported on Friday, Jensen was most recently the executive director of the Battle Born Collective, a progressive consulting group he founded, and had also recently worked for the left-wing groups Democracy Forward and Center for American Progress, those George Soros-funded groups. Fetterman has previously said he does not support expanding the Supreme Court, and campaign spokesperson Joe Cavallo reiterated that to Fox News Digital on Sunday. Responding to Jensen's other comments, Cavallo said Fetterman supports D.C. statehood and is for self-determination for Puerto Rico, and he is open to studying other reforms to improve transparency and ethics standards of the Supreme Court, and believes that President Biden's Supreme Court commission was a good first step towards reaching the path forward. This is how desperate they are, but all hell's about to break loose. You're going to see Democrats be a lot more aggressive now that you have Elon Musk exposing the criminality from Twitter, along with political groups and our FBI agency. John Fetterman is his own man with his own views. There is no one else like him in the U.S. Senate. Yeah, not in the U.S. Senate, but definitely in the White House. Somebody has to stick their hand up their butts and speak for them. John is deeply proud of his team he has put together for his Senate office and is keen to creating a team with diverse views and backgrounds so they can fully serve the people of Pennsylvania. They should not be hard to understand. No. Fetterman is a mindless idiot. His wife, along with these progressive communists, are going to try to call the shots from his office, is what you're going to see happen. So now you can understand why it's important over there in Georgia that we make sure that Herschel Walker gets in there. Because we don't want to rubber stamp everything that the Democrats do. Everything they do is anti-American. I don't care where you stand on the spectrum of politics. I'm an independent. And I have no problems with calling a BS and who the bad people are, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. Nor should you. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think. I look forward to your comments and I'll get back at you later. I'm out.